Hey everybody, what's up? It is 7:59 Eastern. It's your friend James Shaw. Thank you for being with us this morning inside of Pivot Shift Ahead. We're going to have a great week
Is
of
it official
calls,
yet?
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to stay
They
on
signed
mute.
paper.
Hit that. There we go. All right, we're going to stay on mute too. Thanks for being with us this morning. You guys are the best for choosing to be here and get focused and do the right things. We have spent 3 weeks now talking about how to make sure we fill your pipeline full of leads. That's what we're about. Is make sure you have a pipeline, not a pile. And so we did week 1 was database, week 2 was referrals, week 3 is social media. This is open house week. And boy, are you wound up. I'm surprised, honestly. Full transparency. I almost didn't want to do open house week. And then I found out y'all are freaking out about open house week. So I'm glad that you're here. We hit 1,000 on the Zoom at like 7:38 or something like that. So we're gonna cover open houses pretty much all week, and then you should be an open house expert, which is just gonna be totally awesome. But before we do that, we always like to do a couple of tell me something goods. Nicole Romanek, good morning.
Hi. So it was announced the yesterday that we have I reached gold status in the New Jersey MLS, which was very exciting for me because I reached bronze last year. So I skipped straight over to silver. And that means that I have sold at least 25 units and $12 million in volume. So I was very excited about that. And I just want to thank everybody because all of the things that you share, I implement into my business and it makes it grow. So thank you.
We're proud of you. Listen, you've been licensed for how long now? 5 years?
Um, I I've been licensed for 6. I was full time for 5.
Full time for 5. The business has grown steadily over that time. I mean, I rewind and think about the Nicole Romanek who was freaking out a little bit about
Yeah,
not
I
selling
cried
enough
on the phone with
houses.
you, James, many
Yeah,
times.
yeah, and not making any money. And now here you've seen the business grow. What are some lessons you've learned in these 5 years?
I think the first thing, and I also think it's the hardest thing, is patience. And I have red hair and I'm from New Jersey, so patience is very limited. But I think patience is really important. I think the consistency is important. Everything you preach is just really, really important. And I think when I started coaching with Leah McCann, it was really such a breakthrough for me just to have someone additional to bounce things off of and give you ideas that you're like, oh, that's just brilliant. So kudos to Leah and you, of course.
You're the best, Nicole. I'm proud of you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Angela Robinson, we haven't heard from you in a while. You get the next one. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's cold here in Orlando, but we love it. I'm so glad about, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so glad about open houses. Last weekend, not this yesterday, the one before, the listed a house, both Saturday and Sunday, I had over 25 groups at this house. The house is just under 1.2 and a real unique house. Again, yesterday, you'd think I'd be giving away money, over 10 groups and a couple of more agents. So open houses are key to get people in there, especially I walk the neighborhood, invite all the neighbors to come and see my houses. So they're not dead, they're alive. People are out there. They want to see houses again.
It's true, they do, especially in temperatures like this, currently 33 in Safety Harbor. I know that people are not feeling sorry for us, Angela, down here in Florida, that it's cold because it's like 2 degrees where they live. But it is cold, but people are out and about doing their things. And that's why we're going to spend most of this week focused on open houses, talk about it as a lead gen tool. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow really focused on how you turn your open houses into a listing lead tool specifically. We'll
Yep.
talk about growing your farm through open houses and then follow up that doesn't feel spammy along some other things. But today I just wanted to do an overview kind of open houses as a lead gen tool as a whole. Now, this one for most of you on this call will probably just be more of a reminder, and that's fine. There'll be others on here that do get some great thoughts or have a perspective change about open houses. But you know what? I think it's important that even for experienced agents like many of you, it's important that we get back to the foundation and then build on top of that. And so I think we have to remember the purpose of the open house. And we know that it's not to sell that house. Sure, put in the chat, how many of you ever sold a house at an open house? And if so, how many times have you done it? You know, it's probably a handful of times if you've done it. Yeah, Angela's holding up 2 fingers. And I'd be curious on how many times, a number of open houses and how many times you sold a house at an open house. Does it happen? Sure. Obviously, that's not the goal. I think we have some sellers who think it's the goal. In fact, we have a seller in my neighborhood right now who has an open house every Saturday and every Sunday. And I asked her how her home selling process is going, and she's like, "Well, we just keep having these open houses, hoping to find a buyer." And I just want to go, it's just not how it works. And I said, "How many showings are you having?" And she's like, "Well, just all of them are during the open house." And I'm going, "Oh, like I want to call our agent, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it." So we know that it's not about selling the house necessarily, but it's a really super efficient way to meet people in an environment that is pretty low pressure and one where they expect a salesperson to be there. And so let's make sure that we get our activities moving in the right direction. And so let's think of two goals that I think you have in general for an open house. And number one is it's about, having conversations, not necessarily getting contracts signed, but just meeting people. This is a chance for you to learn about them, create a reason to stay in touch, and then your opportunity shows up down the line. And then next, I want you to think about measuring it based on connections that you make with people as opposed to the number of people who come through. I remember back when I'd started in the business, we had the opportunity to work on a condo project, mostly second home condos on a lake. And the market was really, really hot. Everything was selling. And these condos that we put on the market were an amazing deal. And really, the only way to get them was to come to the open house. Like that was the purpose. People were coming and signing contracts. And we would be open Saturday and Sunday and these things. And there would literally be hundreds of people that came through. Hundreds. And they would come through and you'd show them the house and basically, do you want to buy one or not? That's kind of the situation we were in. But I'll tell you what, we had really no good system of capturing contact information, following up, staying in touch. It was just too busy. And you leave the open house feeling like that was super awesome when the truth was you were just so busy you really didn't have time to get anything done. So I want you to think about this open house of it's not just measured in traffic. It's were you able to make connections? Were you able to gather contact information? Do you have a way to stay in touch? So I want you to think about foundationally for you what makes a good open house from a lead gen standpoint. What are the things that you're looking for that you want to pull off? Ricardo, you want to start us off? Good morning.
Good morning, brother. Good morning, everybody. Hope all is well. A lot of people think that you need to have a listing in order to have an open house. You have many agents in your brokerage, your market center. Get in contact with these agents that have listings. They have a lot more things that a lot of people don't like to do open houses. So get in contact with them, whether their house been on the market for a day, 175 days. They need help and they need to let their sellers know that they're doing everything that they can in order to get it done. When you do these open houses, make sure you're looking at the tax maps. Make sure you're looking at all the neighbors. Make sure you're looking at the HOA stuff or just the properties around that neighborhood in order to see how long the neighbors have been in the neighborhood, what's the turnover in that neighborhood, and make sure when you go and do these open houses, you know what the fees are, what the area is like, where's the new grocery stores, the hospitals, and everything, and make sure that you are that go-to person. So when somebody comes in and they're not represented, they're yours. So hope that helps. And yeah.
I think this is a mistake some new agents make is they put some signs out, bake some cookies and show up and they don't have any understanding or awareness about what's happening around them, what else is available, all those sorts of things. Ricardo, that's good advice, buddy. Appreciate you. Tiffany Taylor. By the way, Tiffany and Indy, we did a Wednesday webinar last week that was really good about how you've grown your business focused on your database and small events. So anybody, if you missed it, you can get it on YouTube, podcast platforms, my website, all that kind of jazz. Go listen to it. But Tiffany, what's your thoughts on open houses?
So thanks, James. Good morning. Okay, so your question was, how do you ensure that this is a good lead gen tactic or measure for you? So for me, it's the work I do before the open house. It's the door knocking that I do around the open house. I'm having intentional conversations with people that are answering the doors, not about coming to see the open house. How long have you been there? How long have you lived in your home? Have you thought, oh, wow, you've been here for so long. What have you thought about what to do with your equity, or have you thought about moving? Is this the right space for you? So for me, it's how many contacts, how many leads, how many referrals I can get from that process. And then going into the open house, it's like, okay, this is either going to be, whatever it is. If I have people show up, great, wonderful, because I did the work. Or, you know what, I didn't have anybody show up, but guess what? I got a possible lead from, homeowner across the street who's thinking about selling his home. So for me, it's all the work I do prior to the open house.
We're going to talk a lot about this week, Tiffany, is that again, it's more than just show up. There's some work that you have to do on the front end, and how you show up there really has an impact on your result. Tiffany, thank you. Stay warm in Indy.
Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness, Marilyn Burke's been texting me since 3 o'clock in the morning. So Marilyn, you get the next one. Good morning.
I'm sorry about that. I get up early, James. What
I
can
know,
I
I'm
say?
with you, friend.
We have used the 7th level open house system from Shift. We still use it. I have do the movie premiere. So you list it early, you defer it, everybody comes. We're getting up to 50 families at our open houses still, and most of ours break the statistics and sell. We get our buyers at the open house. Why? Because we have a magic sign-in sheet. It's a carbon copy. The seller gets the bottom, we get the top, the lender gets the top copy. But here's the key: it sources the lead. How did they hear about the open house? It's the very first question. You'll see if the internet's working, which site. You'll see if they're coming from the sign. You'll see if it's a neighbor. And because we have a team, I'm the greeter, and then Joe is at the booklets, and he knows I put a little star. He gets the sign-in sheet from them. They have to do feedback, and he knows who's unrepresented, and then it begins. So you just need a system, tried and true, to work with them. And then I would sprinkle on Janine and Miguel's follow-up system. They have a very robust, so if Janine or Miguel is raising their hand, I would find out from them, because we copied their follow-up system of mailing. I used to mail to a lot of people. Now I narrowed it down, and we're getting better turnovers. So that's my tip for today.
Thank you, Marilyn Burke. I appreciate you. And of course, Gene and Miguel are teaching their whole listing process to our Inspire Collective members tomorrow. What they have is elite. So thank you, Marilyn, for honoring them. We have done, by the way, so many Wednesday webinars on open house strategies and systems. I'm putting the link in both chats right now. Link is in both chats. If you're listening to the podcast version, super simple. You go to jamesdshaw.com, jamesdshaw.com, and you click agent interviews, type in open house, and everything will pop right up. Tanya Harris, good morning.
Good morning, James. Thank you for allowing me to share. So open houses for me just totally increased my business by far. So last year I followed Rico Roberts and his 90 open houses in 90 days. I didn't do them in 90 days. I did it in roughly like 100 and something days, but that increased my business by far. And I did exactly what he said. Plastered the signs all over the place, do your videos, and I still do the old school. I let people come in and sign in. I use that as my callback sheet to reach out to them. But the one thing I always tell people about open houses, like new agents, is when these people are in the house, find something personable about them. So then that way, not only are you following up with, hey, did you like the open house? Thanks for coming. But you also have a personal note to come back to. Hey, how was your kid's basketball game last night? Because then they can feel that you are being genuine and you're not just after their business. And when they see that you're being genuine, then they will connect with you. And then those unrepresented buyers, they just flood in. And when you're that genuine, they'll contact you. They will reach out to you. And that's what I've learned.
It's really good. I appreciate that. It's about connection. That's the point. We'll go deeper on that throughout the week. By the way, real quick, I'm wrong. Janine and Miguel are next week. This week is Lauren Lucas' session on AI. Next week is Janine and Miguel. Thanks for the reminder. Jessica Starr, good morning.
Hey, good morning. A couple things. Number one, we always bring a lender with us at the open house. So the lender's there because they can pre-approve them on the spot, which is really, really awesome. And we love that. Also, it's a security thing for our agents when they're hosting the open houses. So we want them pre-approved. We want them to also be protected in case the houses are bigger too. You have multiple people on multiple floors. So it's also a welcoming thing too, and they can be with those people through the open house. Number two, I'm at LPT now, so we have a listing power tools box, which is awesome. And it's not just for LPT agents, so you can get it too. But it's got 188 pieces of marketing content. So what's cool about it is we door knock, have flyers, there's postcards, there's all the things. So that 7th level open house we get to do ahead of time, and everybody can use it. So I really like having those different pieces of content that we can market with. And it's really helped increase the traffic through the open house. So we do that nosy neighbor open house beforehand. We do the door knockers beforehand. And we've seen a real increase in the open house traffic. So we did like a mega open house weekend this weekend with, I think we had 5 open houses, and we are tracking the total number of people coming through the open house, the total number of unrepresented buyers and unrepresented sellers. The moment the open house ends, we immediately send a text thanking them for coming through the open house, send a handwritten note that's dropped in the mail immediately after the open house, and then an email goes out that night too. So it all happens the same day, not the day after, because people are going immediately out after to the next open house. So the soonest you respond, the faster they get back to you.
We're going to talk about that, like this importance of having a plan and running the play. We say learn the plays, run the plays. You got to have a play for whatever strategy you're using to make sure you get the best result. Jess laid it out for you. Thank you, Jessica. Be well.
You too.
All right, let's go up. I want to go up to Tyler real quick because Tyler, I know you got a really good system for open houses. Good morning.
Good morning. So yeah, we do open houses. The question you would ask is, how do you measure success of an open house? The way that I measure success of an open house is 10 unrepresented buyers showing up to the open house. And the way that we achieve that is by doing the door knocking prior to the event in the neighborhood, by putting out, I put out 57 signs. Somebody asked me why 57. It's because I used to have 60, and then the municipality stole 3 of them, so I no longer have 60. So put out all the signs you can, and that attracts the attention of the unrepresented buyers that'll come by the open house. Jess Starr is a genius, and she told you a whole bunch of great things. The thing that we do in addition at the open house is a buyer interest survey that specifically goes to every individual on a clipboard with a pen, so they don't walk out the back door and around the house to get back in their car. They have to bring it back to you. And in that survey, it asks them questions about what they think about the price, condition, staging, their first impressions, curb appeal, things like that. And then at the bottom of that sheet, it asks for their contact information and who their agent is, so that it gains all that information so we can follow up with them immediately. One thing that I'll add is we add in, we've used an app called Curb Hero, which we have on an iPad at the front door for people to sign in. Since starting using this app instead of a sheet of paper, we've gotten more valid information for individuals that they put their phone number, email address, correct email address, and correct phone number and name into this, because nobody else is going to be seeing it afterwards. Once they click submit, it sends them a text message immediately thanking them for joining our open house. And I can sync it to command, so it automatically adds them to a smart plan to follow up with them same day. So that's how we measure success in an open house and engage and keep up with those individuals.
Again, it's about having the right system. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's about having a system, understanding what you would like your outcome to be, then running your system or your process or your play, whatever you want to call it, and getting into a rhythm enough that you get the leads in the pipeline. Now, tomorrow we're going to be about really focusing on turning open houses into a listing lead gen strategy, because ultimately I'd like for you to build your listing inventory, because listings kind of solve all things and create more opportunities for you. So we will address that tomorrow. If you want to speed up your learning and want some help with open houses, again, I put a link in the chat that'll help you find everything we've ever done on open houses during our Wednesday webinars. jamesdshaw.com. Go click agent interviews and then just search open house, and every Wednesday webinar we've ever done on open houses will pop up. And we've done a bunch because it is a very popular tool. So come back tomorrow when we're all in on open houses as a listing lead tool, and we'll get back after it. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much. Go have a great day. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Bye.